So with this one thing, I want to move to the next thing. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about the revenue thing. So there is a lot of hypothesis about this one, and a lot of CEOs have a different way of boosting the marketing. Different CEOs see marketing revenue in different way. So I want to hear about your personalized thinking about this one too, and that way you strategize. How much a company should spend on marketing. Uh, what percentage makes sense for a company, which is from the yearly revenue. So many companies does a lot, some company does a small. So I think we should think about three segments: small size company, mid-size company, and large size company. And you have worked with almost all the size of company already. So please share your view on that one.
All right, thank you, John. I think for this question, yeah, as you say, it depends on the company side, actually. I just started with my experience on my own company, all right, as just a very small size and about 20, 30 people. And then we are doing like BetLinker, we are doing B2B business. We are B2B business model, not B2C. All right, so that's why we not really spend a lot of money on marketing, but we do in a very focused way. Focus. Let's say for like B2B, I just need to spend can say average 5% something, 5 to 10% max on the revenue to do the marketing, and as usually focus on the trade show, that we go to the trade show, that we can meet a lot of clients over there. We do the webinar, we do seminar, we do the events. All right, so we can gather a lot of people there, and then we do one presentation or introduce something about the product or about the solution over there. So we don't spend on like running the marketing campaign to the B2C, that means to the consumer. All right, because our client is a B2B one. Yeah. So, but before that, like I worked for Vinpearl, for example, before. It's a big company. So of course, they spend more on that one. And of course, percentage, I think is also around that 10% or even something 15%, depends on the campaign and the strategy that I want to achieve. All right. So to me is for this question, usually is still depend on the business model that you are working, and then the size of the company that you can generate how much in the revenue, and what is the strategy, whether you are just you penetrate the market, or you maintain the business, or you want to grow more on the market share, or you want to develop new market or something. But yeah, we manage the percentage is 5 to 10. I think that that relevant to me.
Thank you. So do you want to have any particular suggestion for the founders who are looking to the tech startups? Do you want to say the same number, or you wanted to say a little bit more? Because most of the tech startup, let's say they're building an app, most of them are from B2C. So do you want to think that from B2C side, the founder should spend more or the same?
Yeah, sure. If you are doing a startup with the app, with a mobile app, for example, so you need, and then you target on the B2C, I mean the consumer, then that's a lot of money that you need to spend on the marketing. And because in this, because I also learn a lot from the startup ecosystem, startup, how to set up a startup at the beginning, everything. I learned a lot. So one of the key things for the B2C startup, when they build the app and they want to apply it and they want to launch it into the market, the first challenging that how they can get the user. And when you want to get a user, you need to spend marketing, right? A lot of marketing. And can say in the practice of or what I read before, one of the report can say they can spend like $9 to $10 something to get one user, to acquire a user. You need to spend like $9 to $10 per user. And then you just, if you want to get 100,000 user, for example, then you just say you need to spend like 900 or $1 million to acquire the user. And then you need to calculate the the retention, the marketing for retention done on the app also. That's a lot of expenses for marketing actually. And that startup, they need to get the fund. All right, you need to raise fund to do that business. Otherwise, it's difficult for you to run this that kind of business when you don't have funding. Yeah. So that's my experience.
Thank you, Sung. So viewers, here's the point. If you are thinking about how much money you should spend on marketing side, think about which space you are in. Are you in B2B or B2C? Like for Tung's side, Tung just shared about if you are focusing on B2B, you could go even as minimum as 5%. That way it worked for him, but stay very focused. The second thing is about, like you say, like you hear from Tung, that from Green Power, which is a big companies, and they already have a brand, but still they're spending up to even 15% of the yearly revenue to keeping the brand, because of WinPower actually in both sides, they do B2B and also the B2C as well too. Number three is about your marketing should be very focused about what you really wanted to do. So your strategy needs to be very much aligned that one too. And number four, if you are in a B2C phase, you need to think about your cost of acquiring user, USC. So what is the cost of acquiring the user? If you do it, and how to do that, there is some standard report, like an example Tung shared is about a few $100, $9 up to. But from your side, you could do an A/B testing. If you're trying to figure out for your product, you can do an A/B testing, and then you can find out from the A/B testing that what could be your number. And then you have to also very much calculate about the user retention rate, which just mentioned as well too. You cannot just acquiring, but forgetting about retention rate, because if you don't focus about retention rate, your cost of a real user will be a lot more higher than what you really planned of initially. And the last one is about when you are in a fund, you need to look for capital to raise your as well too. And here's the beautiful point: if you're a tech startups, you can raise fund, because a fund always come to invest for the company who have a high scale, not only high gratitudes. If you have a high scale, but not only high attitude, high gratitudes, like an example, if you open up a coffee shop, you can only sell some people around you. But if you could open up a mobile apps, it has a high scale. You can serve a lot of people all around the country, or even region as well too. Think about Grab, how many people, and that's exactly why, as the huge scale is there, so yeah, venture capitalist or fund will invest on that kind of solution. So these are things you need to put forward in your thing. So don't just think about, I'm gonna, oh my god, I need a lot of money, about when you do B2C. But actually, if you could do a scalable business model, you can raise fund, and as long as you can visually show it with the tech base, and funds are quite educated already about when it comes to technology. So it will not be that dead pool for you to really find out somebody to invest on your solution.